Hey guys, welcome back. This is your host Phil from underKG.com. This is LG V50S ThinQ. As the name implies, it's the second generation, well, a minor upgrade model of the V50 ThinQ, which was not launched globally, but this one will be, because this one also launches under the name of G8X ThinQ. LG has this naming convention where they put the 4G models for the G series and 5G models on the V series, so you get V50 ThinQ without the 5G capability as the G8X ThinQ. A little confusing, maybe. So here we go with the V50S ThinQ dual screen. Dual screen meaning that you can add up the dual screen device onto the phone. It's an external accessory as we have seen from the V50 ThinQ. All right, let's start with the device itself since we needed to use that dual screen. So here's the packaging. It's a classic LG design. We got a cleaning cloth greeting us. Under that is the phone itself. And here are the important things. Front camera, 32 megapixels of front-facing camera, in-display fingerprint sensor, dual screen detachable Google Assistant button. So they call it detachable. I think it should be attachable. But anyway, Qualcomm Snapdragon A55 processor. It's not the Plus, but A55 is still powerful enough. We're gonna put the phone right there. Under there is a little packet containing a free case, free Jello case, which is always welcome. A quick start guide, including a SIM card tray removal pin. Even under that are the pair of headphones, which will not probably be included in North American versions, since they rarely get the included headphones. It resembles a lot of the old school Quad Beat series. I think it's pretty close to that. And here are spare tips, along with the fast charging supported charger, which is not that fast. It's 9 volts, 1.8 amps, and it still has the older USB Type-A standard. But phone side, of course, does have the USB-C port. And the phone itself looks like this. It's got 6.4 inches of Full HD Plus OLED panel. Yes, you heard it right. It is Full HD Plus instead of the QHD panel on the V50 ThinQ. I think the biggest reason was that the dual screen had the Full HD panel on the older devices, and it quite didn't match the resolution on the device. So they had two separate resolutions when combined together. So instead of upgrading the dual screen's resolution to QHD Plus, they downgraded the main resolutions to Full HD Plus. I don't know why. The phone is booted up. As you can see, they dished the old school notch. The V50 ThinQ had the dual cameras on that wider notch, but the V50S has single f1.8 32 megapixels of camera on that water drop notch, along with the bigger, wider speaker grill. It's an AMOLED panel. You do get the always-on display, and under the screen is the fingerprint reader. On the right-hand side, we got the power key and a microphone in a rather interesting position. On top, there is a SIM card and microSD card slot. On the left side are the volume rocker along with the Google Assistant button. And on the bottom are the USB-C port, microphone, 3.5mm headphone jack, a rarity in 2019, and the speaker grill. On the back, you get dual cameras, which is a very interesting choice because the V50 ThinQ had the triple cameras, wide angle, super wide angle, and the telephoto lens. But they dropped that. Now you get f1.8 of wide angle camera and f2.4 of super wide angle camera. There's a V50S ThinQ logo, and the back is covered by Gorilla Glass. And of course, it supports fast wireless charging. Now, one thing that I noticed on the back panel is that it's not as slippery as before. The V50 ThinQ was super slippery. It just glided along like a hockey puck. But the V50S ThinQ, not so much. It kind of stops in the middle, which obviously is better unless you like cracking your phone screen. Now, before we take a look on the phone, let's move on to the dual screen 2. This is the packaging. It comes with the phone. And here, how to install dual screen. Start from the bottom because it utilizes the USB-C port, and push on the edges to complete. Now, the dual screen 2 has also changed a lot. Firstly, it's very glossy. It's almost like a mirror. You can see yourself on this glossy mirrory finish. And there is a hidden external display on top, just like old school flip phones. The rear material is also fancier. It used to be just plain plastic. Now it's got a little texture to it. It's not leathery or anything, but it is less bland. Included with the dual screen are the quick start guide and a little adapter here. What does this do? This is a USB-C magnetic adapter. Since the dual screen device already takes up the USB-C port of the phone, it's got a magnetic port on the bottom. So you connect your USB-C cable to the adapter and it just attached to it. Just like that. And it's pretty strong. It's rather hard to take it off. All right, installing it, you start from the bottom and to the top. There we go. Once you do that, it's gonna show a little toolbox here. Turn on dual screen, and tapping that, it does that. Now, the interesting part is that the dual screen also has a notch. It might seem a little odd and unnecessary, but it means that they use the same panel as they did on the phone. So I guess it evens the quality between two panels, because it was a little annoying with the different color temperatures at all. So what can you do with this? Firstly, you can launch an app and launch another on two screens. You can do that, tap on the toolbox and switch between the apps, send main app to the subscreen and vice versa. There's a dedicated web browser called Whale for LG dual screen. So you can launch that, and there's a little button over here that extends that to the second screen. So whenever you tap on a link, it opens up on the other side of the screen. If you'd rather use Chrome, you can do that too. You tap on that toolbox and there is wide view. It extends this screen onto one big piece. So you can do that and check out the weirdly cut home button on the center. But it's always better to have a feature than not to when you actually need it. Also, you can use it as a gamepad. There are different themes. You can customize the buttons. But nevertheless, it is a pretty heavy accessory. Combined together, they weigh 330 grams. Now, keep in mind that the new dual screen is not compatible with the older devices and vice versa. So you have to stick to one that matches your device. Now, back to the phone. LG revamped the interface a lot. It looks a little familiar, but it's a lot cleaner, brighter, and more colorful to the sense. It is based on Android 9.0 Pie. And talking about the sound, they finally dropped the boombox and they replaced it with 1.2 watts of dual stereo speaker. I wasn't really a big fan since it vibrates really hard. My palm didn't feel comfortable when playing music. It does still have the quad DAC. So if you're one of the fewer people who prefer 3.5mm headphone jack, you can have higher fidelity audio on your phone. Just like older devices, this is pretty tough. It's got IP68 weather protection and mil-spec certified. And of course, this is 5G supported. To power that, it's got 4,000 milliamps of battery. And depending on the region, 6 GB of RAM and 120 GB of storage, or 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage, both further expandable through microSD card. If you're wondering about the size, here's with the Galaxy S10 5G, and here's with the Samsung Galaxy Fold. Of course, when folded, the Galaxy Fold is a lot smaller, looking like this. And I almost forgot about the external display. It looks like this is a monochrome 2.1-inch display. It's not that bright. I think you will have to focus to see if there's a notification on there or not. All right, so that was a quick look on the V50 ThinQ / G8X ThinQ, depending on the region. This seems like LG's step forward to the overall trend in the industry. They now have the display built-in fingerprint reader. There's a water drop notch, and finally a proper stereo speaker. We'll see how it turns out with the dual camera and the battery life. We'll be back with the review very soon. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. You can always meet us on Instagram and Facebook. We'll see you guys later. Ciao.